is Studio Series 86 Voyager class Gar out of packaging, and oh my goodness, Hasbro did a number on this figure. It is absolutely gorgeous. Folks, this is perhaps the most accurate Generation 1 styled Gar we have ever gotten from Hasbro and Takara Tomy. The figure looks amazing. I'm gonna just get through the negative comments right now because the figure is just too nice. I just want to get this thing over and done with. My comments basically, this is so nitpicking of me. It's very minor, but I kind of wish the colors were a little brighter. I know the colors are very accurate to how he looked like on the cartoon. Very pastel-y type of muted colors, but I don't know. I always saw him when I was a kid that he had bright red colors and gray colors, and if they could just take the hue up a notch just by two notches, that would really make this figure perfect. But they don't have to do that. It's a great figure. Like the yellow, I wish it could have been a little bit brighter. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you look at it, if you look at the figure at first glance, you will notice that a lot of the plastic, like his side pouches, his saddlebags, right there, the leg and the forearm, it looks cheap. It feels and looks, just at first glance, it looks as though they were 3D printed. But that's not the case. The plastic actually feels very premium, and it's a very nice deception. Let's take a closer look at the details of this figure. You can clearly see he's got several weapons. First is his melee. It's a spinning melee. It's actually pretty nice. I like that it's just riveted there, so you can do that spinny thing. A little short. Maybe half a centimeter longer would have been nice, but it's fine. He's got these two shields or wheel shields, as how it was in G1, and these actually form the wheels of his bike. So if you look closely, they are identical. Yeah, the color is coming out as like metallic mustard. It should be a little bit more on the gold side, like yellow gold type of color, but Hasbro chose this one. It's fine with me, actually, but you know, if they were going with the cartoon accuracy, I wish they would have been more yellow gold and all that. I don't know. That's how I saw it. This is probably the more accurate one. I think Hasbro did nail it with this one. It's got these spikes that are blunted out for safety reasons, I think. And also you will notice, and I think this is a first for a Hasbro figure of Gar. I don't know, I never had the G1 figure, but I've never seen these spikes on previous incarnations of Gar in toy mode. Like, I don't have my Power of the Prime or Combiner Wars, was it Combiner Wars? Titan's Return Gar, and my Henkei Gar. I'm kind of glad I sold them off because this is a way better figure than that, but I've never seen these spikes before. These spikes are actually pretty accurate to how he looked like in the movie. I was actually shocked that they put this. It's not made of soft PVC material. I mean, it's not super hard, but it's not that soft PVC material we've grown accustomed to. It's actually pretty hard and solid. It won't poke you as much because they blunted out the tip, so that's fine. And I'm glad it's not made of that soft PVC material because that's going to bend in packaging. Also, you will notice he's got these nipple blasters. This is actually pretty accurate to the cartoon, and it's actually on a ball joint, so I thought that was pretty cool. So on a really cold day, it's probably like that, and if he's warmed up, it's probably like that. I'm just kidding. But the main selling point of this figure, in my opinion, I think, is this magnificent, wonderful head sculpt. If that is not a Gar head sculpt, I don't know what is. That head sculpt is absolutely gorgeous. I think Hasbro nailed it. They molded the mustache and his beard in separate plastic pieces. Even the eyes are separate pieces that they just assembled so that there'd be no paint overlapping here and there. I think it's great. It's so G1-esque. I mean, he was supposed to look like a TV, like his head was like a TV. He talked TV. I think that was the whole idea of the character back in the 80s. The best-selling quality of this figure is this head sculpt. Look at that. There is some kibble in the back. Admittedly, that's fine. I don't really mind it. That's really part of his aesthetic. And overall, I'm pretty impressed with the sculpt that Hasbro gave us with this record. And I'm glad they made him a Voyager. I mean, had he been a deluxe class like the previous incarnations, I don't know. I don't think we would get this kind of satisfaction from the aesthetics of the figure. In terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint. He does have a waist swivel. There's a little bit of an ab crunch because of transformation. Shoulders can go out. I love the fact that they molded this one so that when you put his shoulders out, it's not like an empty space. And forward and backward on the shoulders. He's got a bicep swivel. Hinge elbow, very tight. The wrists go up and down because of transformation, and they do swivel. Flip out the saddlebags, and the hips are actually on ratchet joints when you move them forward, in and out. When you try and do the splits, they're actually on ratchet joints. So you can do a nice straddle stance on him without him falling over, whatever. The hinges forward and backward, they don't ratchet. Thigh swivel. Hinge knees, they go this way and this way, really because of transformation. The feet can go up and down, and I was like, oh, no, no rocker joints? This is a first. And then, whoa, Hasbro manages to surprise me yet again with this hidden rocker pivot. And the joints are super tight. Look at this. They're not a single loose joint on this figure. This is probably one of the luckiest figures I'm ever going to get from Hasbro that's missing, no quality defects and all that. Very relieved to get a perfect, near perfect figure. For weapon storage, the melee can be stored on the back with that peg. The shields, you can actually alternate them on his forearms and on his knees. They just slip onto those spikes, which I thought was pretty cool. I think I like him best this way with both shields on his forearm. You can do it both here as well if you wish. It's actually pretty cool as well. And for some size comparisons, here is Retgar with a few figures from the Studio Series 86 line and Kingdom line. You can clearly see he's well under a leader class figure. He's much shorter than Ultra Magnus, yet he is way taller than Voyager class Hot Rod and Lux class Cup. And now for the dreaded transformation. No, transformation is actually pretty cool for this figure. It's a little involved and tight, but if you do it properly, it's actually pretty satisfying. So first thing you want to do is you want to remove the weapons, the accessories. We'll use those later. And then let's start with the arms. Rotate them this way and fold up the fists. That. Okay. And then let's do the feet first, since that's the easier part of the transformation. You get one of the wheels. You gotta stick it and jam it in between his thighs or the sides of his knees. Now I get it why there's ratcheting joints for the sideward motion of the hips. It's to keep that wheel locked. Okay, fold the knees in the reverse direction. Fold the feet up like that, and then fold the feet downward that way. So, okay, you form something like this. Okay, and then this section right here, you're gonna unfold this pelvis joint. Like, if I can just show you. Okay, just like that. And then what you wanna do is you wanna open up the chest cavity like this, okay? And then you want to straighten out the seat of the motorcycle. That's key. So if you don't do it properly, if you don't straighten that out, everything's going to be a big mess, okay? And then open the shoulders, fold out the windshield, and fold out that huge front end of the motorcycle. I love the fact that they were able to hide this huge huge section of the chopper, or the big bike, right there on his back. It's a nice compression. Well done, Hasbro. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to fold this triple joint or double jointed panel back up like this, all the way back. And then what you want to do is you want to shoot his head right inside that front end of the motorcycle, and that will it's actually pretty nice. It fits nicely like that, and you can see the gauges of the motorbike right there. And I thought that was a really nice touch on the part of Hasbro. So, okay, fold it up this way. Don't worry, it's really at an angle. It's not super flush. It's flush right here, but it's at an angle with the gas tank, so that's fine. Okay, and then fold the arms this way. Make sure you fold back the shoulders inward like that. And you see these teeny tiny tabs that, again, I'm so afraid of it might be broken after a few years' time exposed to the weather and elements. I hope they withstand the test of time, and I hope they're really made of really strong plastic, because they're so tiny. And if you break that, I mean, it will affect transformation, because those are the things that lock the front end of the bike. So do this and do that. Oh, before you lock them in, make sure you get the next wheel, the second wheel, and then you just squeeze it in between the forearms like that. And once you've done that, then you can completely lock them on those teeny tiny pegs. They're not pegs of doom. They're easy to tab in. It's just that I just feel they're going to break sooner or later. Just fix the nipple blasters just like that. Okay, and then all that's left is really to tab in the feet right here on these smaller tabs. Yeah, there's no fear of breaking them, unlike these tabs right here. So once you've done that, it's just a matter of straightening out that seat so that the back wheel can run properly, and then the front wheel be running properly as well. And there is the big bike that is Wreck-Gar. It actually makes a funny sound as it rolls because of the spikes. Now the instructions say to plug this melee weapon on the rear end like this. And it kind of looks funny because it looks like it's a propeller. And maybe the best you can do is just plug it in downwards like that, so that it doesn't look too, it still looks weird. I don't know why, so we'll keep it the official way. So yeah. That'll be stupid, that'll be stupid. Okay, now you'll notice that he can't really balance the bike. You can't balance the bike because of the spikes. Hasbro was kind enough to give us some kickstands or bike stands. Dig your nails in right there, and there's actually a stand for the bike, and it looks really nice. Fantastic details. I love the flame deco here on the gas tank. I mean, that gold mustard, it's not looking as bad as I thought it would be, but yeah. And the spikes, they're a great accent to this alt mode, and the colors now, they really pop now with the combination of the gas tank. All that's missing now is another Wreck-Gar, so you can ride his alt mode. For some size comparisons, here he is with Earthrise Voyager class Optimus Prime. Obviously, he's not going to be in scale. In the old G1 toys, I mean, he was really big. He was clearly not in scale, and I don't think that was the intention of Hasbro. I think they intended the robot mode to be in scale, but the alt mode, they wanted it to be true. They wanted to keep true to the old G1 toy. That was really a huge looking bike. And so some final thoughts on this figure. Need I say more? I think this figure is perfect. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 from me. This is perhaps the best representation of G1 Wreck-Gar in a modern adaptation or updated version that we've ever gotten from Hasbro or Takara Tomy. Best of luck to everybody hunting this figure down. I'm sure a lot of collectors will be army building this figure, much like what we've experienced in the previous releases of Wreck-Gar as a deluxe class figure, as a Henkei figure. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. So the figure is great in all aspects, aesthetics in both robot mode and alt mode. I think he is a perfect figure to add to your collection if you are collecting and completing the characters from the 1986 movie line. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Wreck-Gar. Is this figure all that you've hoped for? Are you a little disappointed? Let me know in the comment section. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.